Welcome to MindTap for Computing. In this video, I will provide you with an overview of MindTap, talk about how you can perform a system check, we'll go over your preferred browser, how to take assignments, and where you can go to for Cengage support. Within MindTap, there are 3 different types of activities: trainings, exams, and projects. For both your trainings and your exams, you're going to need access to an internet browser. For your projects, you will need to complete those via Microsoft Office, whether it be in Microsoft Office Word, PowerPoint, Excel. It just depends on the type of project that you're working on. Other activities within SAM include the ebook, and there are various study tools. While you can use any browser for SAM, the preferred browser is Mozilla Firefox. If at any point in time you have questions and you need to reach out to support, I'm going to show you how you can access the support tool directly from within MindTap, or you can always go out to cengage.com/support. Don't forget to download the MindTap mobile app for free. The mobile app is going to send you reminders and alerts for your different activities with due dates, and you'll also be able to access different study tools such as flashcards, videos, and practice quizzes. So let's go ahead and go live into MindTap. I've already registered for MindTap ahead of time. Your instructor should have provided you with registration instructions in addition to maybe a video. So that may be a separate video. If you haven't already registered, be sure to go back to visit those resources. So let's talk about a couple of resources in the upper right-hand corner. The first thing you want to do when you log into MindTap is you can visit the different Getting Started tutorials. This is where I mentioned that you can access our customer support if you need to create and file a support ticket. You can also send us feedback. A very important link is this system check link. This system check is going to check your internet browser to make sure you have all of the required and necessary plugins in order to be successful within MindTap. So right now, it looks like my system is good to go because I have green check marks. But if you see a red X by anything, be sure to update that particular tool. One of the most important things that you'll want to make sure you have are pop-ups enabled. You want to allow windows to pop open within MindTap because you'll see when you're taking some of your activities, they do open up in new windows, and you don't want a pop-up preventing that from occurring. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. These are my different apps that I can use. We'll talk about some of these a little bit later, but the most important thing I want to talk about are your different activities. You'll see that there are 3 different views that you can view. So this first view is the weekly view. This will only be populated with activities if your instructor has placed due dates on your assignments. So if you don't see anything here, you want to also just check on your course syllabus or go to this unit view to make sure you don't have any assignments in here that count towards a grade because they may just not have due dates on them. The final view is this view here where you can see a list view. So this shows you kind of everything at a glance. I'm going to go ahead and go to my unit view because that's the view that I prefer. And I'll see my different chapters in here. Here's my chapter 1. If I open the folder for chapter 1, I can see any assignments that are due. So at the very bottom, it shows you if there's a due date on this activity, it shows you here. Any comments or feedback, you can click on this little call out menu to see that. You can also see how many attempts, and this lets me know that these activities do count towards a grade. So I've already submitted these 2 activities, and here are my scores. And I can tell that I submitted them because they are in green. This yellow just basically represents that the due date is approaching and I have not submitted it. These 2 items I have submitted and they're in green. So let's go ahead and click on this chapter 1 to minimize it. And I want to go to start to work on my activities within chapter 2. As I mentioned, there's the ebook in here, and you also have exams, trainings, and projects for different activities. So first, let's take a look at the ebook by clicking into this Word Chapter 2 folder. I can tell that this is the ebook because it has this little ebook or textbook icon. So to click into the book, I'm just simply going to click on the title. This is going to open up the ebook for me. A couple of things about the ebook. I'm going to go into this section 3.1. You can change the size of the font within the ebook. You do have the option to highlight just by dragging your mouse, and you'll see the different color highlights show up. I can also take notes by adding a note. And you can also read different portions of the page. So you can either just highlight a specific section and click on Read Text.
The project in this chapter follows generally accepted guidelines for writing letters and uses.
Or if you wanted to read the entire page aloud, you can click on this icon in the upper left-hand corner. You have the option to add a bookmark. And if there's a word that you need some help with, you can always just highlight that word and click on the dictionary, and it opens up this dictionary app to the right and immediately looks up that word for you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of the dictionary app, and we're back in the ebook. Any highlights or any notes that you take within this ebook, I'm going to go ahead and close this. It's going to be stored in the Study Hub app on this app bar. So this is the Study Hub app. This allows for you to preview across all chapters, any highlights or bookmarks or notes that you've created. You can also create yourself a study book guide by clicking on Create a Study Guide, and you'll give it a name. So if this was my midterm study guide, and I can go ahead and select the chapters that I want to explore. So let's say I wanted a study guide that includes any highlights or notes that I've taken in addition to key terms. And then once I do that, I just add the unit to the guide and I create myself a study guide. And this is where it's located. And then I can always go to that study guide to use as a study tool. By clicking on Notes and Highlights, this is going to show me any notes and highlights that I've created throughout the textbook. And you'll see you do have the option to print this. Same thing with the bookmarks. If you want to see any pages that you've bookmarked, you can click here. So that's it for the Study Hub. Hopefully you'll find it useful and use it to prepare to study for some of your different activities.